This is an HO Scale Santa Fe Mantua F7, and it does not run. Today, I'm going to be trying to make this thing run and see if we can get it running even better than it could. With that out of the way, let me test this thing out for you. I have the unit set up on the track, and it's time to test it. If I remember correctly, this unit does not run, but it's been a long time, so it's always good to double check. This is full power. Let me wiggle the thing a little. That's different. Okay, apparently it is attempting to run. It does not run very well, and it does not look like the light works, so this thing is still going to need quite a bit of work. With that unexpected start out of the way, I'm first going to start by removing this weight, because I would like to reveal all the wiring, see how the headlight's wired up, and see if, first of all, we can get that wired correctly. I do not see anything wrong there, so I'm going to just pull this out. And it looks like that would more than likely be our problem. This wire joint is broken off from the headlight. So I'm going to heat up my soldering iron, come back in a minute, and we'll just quickly resolder that back on. While the soldering iron's heating up, I might as well just go in and clean out this whole front truck. I don't know what's in here. It's probably just going to need some basic cleaning along with a good wheel cleaning, and then we can put this thing right back together. That might be another reason this thing doesn't run. Looks like there are quite a few bad solder joints in here. All right, with all that wiring madness done, I believe now we can just go straight into this rear truck. That came out a lot easier than I was expecting. And something about these that are really nice, I recently restored a very similar engine, however it had rivets. These have the exact same drive system, except they contain screws, which makes these a whole lot easier to work on. So I'm just going to open this up, give this a good clean out, replace all the old oil with fresh oil, and then we'll put this thing back together and we should be good to go. I might as well use this time to mention how I got this engine. This was actually part of an eBay lot that I had bought recently, and long story short, with all the other engines and all those costs combined, this engine cost about $5 in that lot, which is a pretty good deal for a decent HO scale engine. I will also note that this engine does use traction tires. However, the ones on here, despite being old, feel good enough that I trust it for the time being. I don't actually know if this engine will be sticking around long term in my collection of trains, but if it does, it'll probably get replacement traction tires. I will also note that for right now, I'm not going to be replacing this other side truck. If this thing turns out well, I'll probably replace it off camera. I've got spares. This one's kind of falling off, so I might glue it back on later. We'll see. But I think that's just about everything cleaned out in there. So now all I've got to do is get out some grease and we can give this thing some fresh oil. While we're here, I'm just going to get out a horn hook coupler, see if I can find a good one. And I'm going to stick a new horn hook in here because, again, if it stays around long term, I will probably be giving this thing a Katie. But just for now, a horn hook should suffice for what I need to do with the thing. That screw was rather stubborn, but now I believe all I have left to do is plop this truck back in here, reinstall the weight, and then we should be able to go test this thing out. Now, let's go test this engine out and see if the repairs have been successful. Alright, I got the unit set up on the track, and after all that work, let's see if the thing will run. And it appears it does. I think a little bit of my noise might be caused by the fact that the traction tires are a little bit dry and are causing a little bit more vibration, but I think with some fresh traction tires, it might even be a little quieter. It might need to run in just a little bit. I'll let the thing run a lap. I know you can't see it more than likely, but it completed that lap with no issues at all. So I think as of right now, this restoration was a success. So I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.